Cheri Porter joins us here this morning from the OC&T Railroad. I'll get a little stutter there. How's it going, Cheri?
It's going well.
It's been a while.
It has.
Well, good to see you. And, well, that means gearing up for another busy season at the OC&T Railroad.
Yes.
How's the off-season? I say off-season, but there's never an off-season.
No,
always
not
working
really.
hard, planning, getting things ready, fixing things. Just
trying.
It hasn't stopped. Well, what happens between the end of October to now?
During the end of October, November, December, we try, if the weather's not bad, even up to and including now, to do maintenance on the cars. Anybody that's been down by has likely seen some of the people down working around the cars and stuff like that. So things like that go on, assuming that the weather is nice enough that we can do those things. Of course, as we all know, it has not been nice enough in the last few weeks that we've been able to do some of those projects. But yeah, so there's always stuff going on. We've had electricians in working on stuff in the station and guys working on the train cars themselves and stuff like that. So always something.
And in the midst of all of that, you'll do special runs like Christmas time. Oh my gosh, was that awesome? That was a pretty special thing. Talk a little bit about that.
So we are fortunate enough to be able to run Santa trains because usually Mother Nature cooperates enough that she doesn't inundate us too badly with a lot of snow, creating issues for getting down the tracks and stuff. We are very fortunate to have Santa Claus come and hang out with us. This year he was able to add a day to his schedule, so we were able to do 4 runs.
Wow.
And I believe almost all of them were sold out. So yeah, it's a pretty neat experience. And I mean, going down through that park when it's covered in snow is totally different than what you see in, May, June, July when you go down through and, you see all the trees and everything. And so. And
in addition to that, I mean, the train station was decorated.
Absolutely.
Nice tree. Had the opportunity to have pictures taken afterwards. Some Christmas music was down. I mean, it was just really a cool setting.
Absolutely. We try to make sure that when people come into the station that they have a full Christmas experience, that it's not just, oh, Santa's here. Okay, great, Santa's here, but look at the decorations in the car. Look at the station, The girls this year even had some decorations outside the station and stuff like that. So it's something that we work on every year to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit different. And
more magical.
That's all it is just keeping the magic to it. So.
That's great. Now, when you get weather like what we've had this year, does that mean it's more like crunch time when the weather does break to get projects done?
Absolutely.
So you've got now the main season doesn't really begin till summer, correct? June.
Right.
But it just feels like you're up and running, once Easter hits because there's special runs. But talk a little bit about getting ready for Easter and that time between now and summer.
So we, at this point, I have already got scheduled with the plumber to turn the water back on in the station. The electricians coming in to finish up some of their projects that need to be done in better weather because I try not to send them under the station to do work while it's this cold out. Try is the operative phrase there.
Yeah.
So there'll be stuff like that going on. The crew will be going in and cleaning out the train cars, getting them ready for the first round of runs and stuff like that. We'll be working on getting things set up in the station. We've had a lot of different souvenirs that came in after the season ended last year. So they'll be getting that stuff out and on display. They'll be decorating, again, like you said, we decorate for Easter just like we do for Christmas and things like that. So that will be going on, and just, it will not be quite as lonely down there as it is right now.
Yeah. Well, so here's what I'm talking about, where you mentioned June kicks off the regular season.
Right.
And here's why it doesn't feel like it's June. It feels like it's April because you've got the Peter Cottontail Express.
Absolutely.
You've got Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
You've got Murder Mystery.
Yep.
And you've got school tours.
Absolutely.
It just
and
feels
there should be a wine train in there somewhere, I think.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it. But it just, again, it just seems like it's, once you get to, that break in the weather and Peter Cottontail comes around, it's go time.
It is, yes. Pretty
That's
much.
exciting. So are like school trips? We just had Drake Well on. They said they're about booked. Is there room for schools to take advantage of?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least JC has not informed me that there's not room
Okay.
left. But yes, so I believe that, yes, there are still room available that they can do the school trips and stuff.
So if you're a school district interested in riding the train, contact the OC&T Railroad. Talk to JC about that.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. And they can do a round trip. Some of the schools do. They come in and they do the full round trip. Some of the schools come in and do a one-way. They get on either at Perry Street or at Drake Well and then ride down only as far as Wren Farm. Their school bus meets them there, and they go back to meet busing requirements at the end of the day. So, I mean, we can work around however you need to. I believe at one point we even had a group that got on at Perry Street, rode as far as Petroleum Center. Excuse me. They then did a picnic there at Petroleum Center, and their bus met them there just for something different.
Wow.
So, I mean, we'll work with the schools however we can.
All right. So there's options. Just
Yes.
have that conversation.
Yes. And the other thing to remember is that we try really hard to work with the civic organizations here in town, and our Crawford Gives, our money that we earn or we get donated during August during Crawford Gives, is all diverted to those school tours. So that way what we do is we try to do as much as we can to make sure that the kids don't have to pay to ride, or if they do, they're riding at a significantly discounted rate. So the only real cost to the school district is, teachers and parents and the busing. So, because we realize that, a lot of the schools are phasing out trips like that because of those financial constraints. So we're doing what we can to try to offset that.
That's fantastic. Well, good for you guys to do that, and great when school districts take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
So, we always joke. It's not, the season hasn't even started and things get sold out.
Yep.
What's that situation like? Usually murder. Oh, you're laughing. Go ahead. And I have no idea. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. You always tell everybody that, it's not a joke, that, we're serious, that things do sell out quickly. We released our schedule early in January. Within a month, we were sold out of the speeder tickets for the speeder rides during Oil Fest weekend. Both the 9 a.m. and the 6 p.m. Rides. So those are sold out. They are wait list capacity. So if you're interested in that, give us a call. We'll get you on the wait list. Most of the time we end up with extra speeders available, so we can go ahead and, get most of the people on the wait list on, but it just depends on how many we end up with attending the event. Peter Cottontail First Class is sold out.
Wow.
I believe when I left yesterday, JC told me we were down to about one car left for seats for coach for Peter Cottontail. And I believe, there are 2, maybe 3 days in October. Already that first class is about sold out because we've had bus groups reach out to us. So, yeah. So, yeah, he's not lying when he says that we sell out.
No, I didn't even. This is great. So, somebody's watching this, say, "Oh my gosh, I want to make sure I'm able to ride, or I want to take advantage of these special nights."
Yep.
They can get the schedule online for the year. It's up,
Correct.
posted
Yes.
on the website. Okay.
Yep. Somewhere right handy, the 1st of January, it went live.
Okay, and it's amazing how many people know that, right? Or they're just constantly checking over Christmas break, first of the year, and they see this pop up, and the phone calls immediately start.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, and we've had people that call in and they're like, I have tried for the last 3 years to get on this event and I keep missing it. So I had it on my calendar to start checking on, this day. And so, yeah.
Are these a lot of local people, or are they people from where? Talk about the folks who are coming in and calling and asking these questions.
So I am going to say probably close to 90% of our ridership is not what we would consider local. Now, I consider local Titusville, Erie, Meadville, Oil City, Franklin, that type of thing. Most of them are coming from further away. We're talking New York State, we're talking Warren County and east, we're talking Pittsburgh, we're talking West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yes. Are a lot of these folks, is it a day trip for them, or are they asking you, hey, where can we stay? What, are there places available?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A lot of them we find are coming up to camp somewhere, whether that be Canadota Lake, Conneaut Lake, Warren County up around Kinzoo, that type of thing, Cook's Forest. We have a lot of people that will stay out at Oil Creek Family Campgrounds, and they come down and ride the train and stuff like that. So a lot of them are staying in the area. A lot of them will stay right at the cabooses and stuff like that. So if we get the opportunity to talk to them about, well, what else are you doing? We try to encourage them to stay local so that they can do not only our event, but see what's at Drake Well, check out the local shops, check out the local businesses and stuff like that, so that we're trying to make it not just an overnight trip, but come and stay the weekend. Make this your weekend vacation type thing.
That's fantastic. Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Cheri Porter with us here this morning from the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad. Would you say a lot of those folks are here for the train experience and they're getting the added bonus of the local history, or are a lot of them interested in the local history?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
We have a lot of people that come into town that ride the train that then discover as they're on the train, they go past the museum and they're like, hey, what's that? And so we tell them that's Drake Well and tell them about it. And they're like, oh, we're going there next. And so, they find out about it that way. There are a lot that come to us because they're aware of the history of the area and they just want to see it from a different perspective. And then we end up with people that go to the museum and they're wandering around the grounds and there goes the train and they're asking, wait, what? So it's kind of a mutually feeding thing. So,
well, like, of course, on the brochure, take a ride through the valley that changed the world. Does anybody ever come up to you and say, well, how did this valley change the world?
We've had some people ask, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
now, again, going to the website, they can get a look at the dates. And really, it's a decision they're going to have to make quickly for a lot of this stuff, especially like October fills up fast.
Oh, yes.
Murder mysteries fill up fast.
Last year, we had absolutely no first class tickets left for October by, I believe it was the 17th of July. So, yeah, first class for October it goes crazy. I think we've got 2, if not 3 of the murder mysteries that we're already at 50% capacity for those. So everything goes quickly.
This is kind of neat. A lot of special events. Peter Cottontail Express, we talked about that. Christmas in July, Halloween ride, Santa train, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Veterans Military Special, Tiki train, Grandparents Day Special. Yep. These are all great events that are coming up. In addition to the wine trains, those are back this year, May, June, and July. Taps on Tracks, another great event. That's also back in August.
Yeah.
You get the overflow from Oil Festival in August. A lot of folks are stopping in, buying things, checking things out, or their families are going on rides. A lot of opportunities this year. When do you start planning for the season? Like, how far in advance?
Would you like me to tell you that JC just ordered my 2026 calendar the other day?
So you can mark things down. Okay.
Yep. So, yeah. And 2026 will be a big year for us because that will be our 40th anniversary. So there's a lot of stuff going on now. Not only are we finalizing plans for this year and getting the last few pieces put together here, but we're already working on events for 2026. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And you're getting there to the 1 millionth rider?
We are, yes. And I can't tell you because that was the one piece of paper I told you I left
okay.
at the office. But yes, we are getting very close to that. I would say probably, if not this year, by next year. So, which would kind of be really unique if we hit 1 million on 40th. So, I'll consider it a win either way.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Some other things that people may be surprised to know. You can bring your bicycles, canoe, kayak.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have a bunch of people that will either get on the train at Perry Street, or they will get on at Drake Well, and we will take them and their bicycles down to Petroleum Center, drop them off, and then they ride back. Other times they get on the bike trail there at Drake Well, pedal down. We pick them up at Petroleum Center, bring them back. Again, we have had a lot of people. It used to be we would have people that would try to get in the water at Drake Well, float down, and meet the train at Petroleum Center when we were coming back north. A lot of them have amended that because of water levels in Oil Creek. They now will meet us at Petroleum Center on board all of their boats and everything. We bring them back to Drake Well, offload them, and then they float down so that they made the train, and then however long it takes them to float back, they're, okay that way. So yeah, we do that. I actually talked to a Boy Scout troop that will be coming to the area, and they'll be staying actually down in Oil Creek State Park, and they're going to be working on, I believe, their hiking badge, their biking badge, and they're going to hit Drakewell Museum and ride the train. So they're going to have a packed weekend while they're here. So
I know that was the issue when I was born. The water levels were too low. My parents tried to float me down Oil Creek when I was born, and ended up not working out, so they had to reclaim me. But so really cool opportunities to really explore nature in this part of Northwest Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And we talk every year too, and you mentioned it about just going down with the Santa Express, the Santa trains, and seeing snow. Every season provides a different look.
Absolutely.
So really, you could come back 4 or 5 times a year, and you're going to see something different or experience something different.
Right.
Which is great. All right. Now, we talked about places to stay. People ask. You've got right next door to Perry Street Station, the Caboose Motel.
Absolutely.
A lot of people love it.
Yes. Yep. 21 rooms. So part of them are set up with single king-size beds. Some of them are set up with 2 double beds in them. So, you can usually accommodate whatever the combination of family is. We have a lot of grandparents that will bring the grandkids up for the weekend. They will do the train ride. They'll spend the night in the caboose and that type of thing. A lot of the guests at the mystery dinners and the wine trains will reserve the rooms and stay there after they get done with those train rides. So, yeah.
Something to keep in mind. This really is more spring and fall, but dress according to weather.
Yes.
I noticed back at Christmas time, there were a couple families like, I hope they go out to the car and get a warmer jacket.
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of them think that, riding these train cars is going to be the same as sitting in your 70-degree living room on a, 20-degree day. And it is not. These cars were built in 1920. They are not as insulated as our homes and our cars are now. And yeah, you need to dress accordingly. I mean, there is heat in the station and there is heat on the train, but it is limited. So you need to be prepared for that. And same thing goes for rainy, dreary days. Don't expect to show up in your sandals and not get your feet wet. No.
What? So there's a lot of different options when riding. What should somebody know before they're calling in and ordering, or just ordering online? Because I think there's probably a lot more people now just ordering online and getting their tickets. So are the options available?
We do not actually have online ordering.
Okay, all right.
So in order to order their tickets, they need to talk to JC or I. And that's kind of a fun experience because people are like, wow, I'm talking to a real person. Yes, you are. So a lot of them enjoy that fact. But yes, basically the difference is first class seating is softer, cushier seats. It's a cloth covered seat as opposed to vinyl. The seats are more like, we refer to them as a molded airline seat would be a comparable example. There's air conditioning in the first class car, that type of thing. Coach cars are more, the seats are closer together. They're a vinyl covered seat. They're more similar to a school bus seat. The difference being with our seats, you can flip the backs so that you can be facing forward whichever direction you're going.
Oh, wow.
Whereas school bus seats, you can't flip-flop those around because I'm sure kids would probably tear them apart. I mean, I've watched adults tear the train seats apart, but yeah. So there is that. So.
All right. If folks have questions, want more information, and by the way, if you call and want to buy tickets, I assume you can leave a message if
correct.
The office is closed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It does go to voicemail. So leave a message. We check, and that's one of the things we do first thing in the morning when we get in there. We go through the voicemails and we return those calls first and then start through, any incoming calls after that.
Okay.
So
after you get through a series of my prank calls, then you get to the real stuff.
Exactly. Yes.
All right, perfect. Cheri, what's the website people can go to?
So it is www.octrr.org.
It is great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. And we're looking forward to it and looking forward to a great season.
Excellent.
All right.
And we want to hear about it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Enjoy catching up with the best of the morning drill.